Yo, good morning, good morning. How are you today? Brother Brian is sitting in the big chair. Wee! Lisa's not here today. She's at her grandson's graduation, so you know what that means. I'm an actor fool up in here today. That's right. I'm going to do all the kind of stuff that Lisa don't want me to do when she ain't around. I'm going to do all this kind of stuff behind Lisa's back. I'm going to talk about stuff, but we do have a topic today. We do have a topic besides me sitting in the big chair in Lisa's hot office. I'm telling you, this room is at least 10 degrees hotter than any other place in the house. Don't know why. It's over the garage. Maybe that has something to do with it. It's over the garage. The rest of the house is better insulated, I suspect. But anyway, I'm looking forward to today's show. I don't have her cell phone with me, so I'm only going to be able to read the comments that come on the page. But to quote the great Riley Freeman in Lisa's absence, I'm an actor fool. Okay, today's topic, and just for today, because we never talk about young people on this show. We never talk about them because this is, personal conversations, business information, and spiritual inspiration. We talk about grown folks and grown folk stuff. And the other reason why we never talk about young people on this show is because young people universally, they suck so bad today. Why do young people suck? Why? Who raised them? To quote the comedian T.K. Kirkland, who raised y'all like this? We're going to talk about the young adults. We're going to talk about the children as well. But I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to do a lot of stuff that Lisa don't want me to do when she's here. But she ain't here today. She's at her grandson's graduation. So when the cat's away, you know how that goes. The mice will play. Cue the music.
Good morning, my name is Brian McNeill.
And I am Lisa Santiago McNeill.
And thank you for joining us on our show, Let's Talk About It. We come to each Monday through Friday right here on the SIBN network, on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TuneIn, as well as Facebook Live. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Like.
Good morning, good morning. Here we are, here we is. We'll be back again. I'm not going to be able to see comments from all the sources because I don't have all the sources. But I do see that Miss Phyllis is here. Good morning, Miss Phyllis. Now, when I was joking around, when I said we never talk about young people on this show, it's because universally young people today suck so bad. Like going to a store and a 20-year-old has to help you, or a 25-year-old has to give you life advice, or a 24-year-old wants to give a class on entrepreneurship, or a 23-year-old wants to be a life coach. What? That's just my opinion. Okay, when I see those kinds of things, I'm thinking, what? What 23-year-old could be a life coach? I guess she could, though. She can coach a 16-year-old or something, maybe a 17-year-old. She can't coach a 55-year-old grown man. Good morning, Sister Tamika Ford. How you doing? You see I'm in the big chair because Lisa ain't here, and I'm going to talk about some stuff. Today's topic, I'm going to cover the topic too, but today's topic, let's get that started. Tamika, when I was joking around and said young people suck in general, get out of here, Lisa. This ain't about you. This ain't about you. Lisa's at her son's graduation. She says, hey, fam, little Brandon's graduation. We get that. But I'm talking behind your back today. I'm going to talk about stuff that you won't talk about. While I'm joking around, when I said young people suck in general and who raised them, I want to get your thoughts. What's your thoughts on today's generation? I'm going to say between 20 and 35. What do you think about those folks? I've been sitting here the whole time, Tamika. Lisa pop on and you say, good morning, Lisa. I've been sitting here the whole time. I ain't getting no good morning, Brian. I ain't getting no, how come I can't get a good morning? How come the man that's sitting in the chair can't get a good morning? What's up with that? What's up with that? How you gonna treat me like that? Like I'm a French fry, like I'm a side dish. What's up with that? The whole time I've been here, I ain't getting out one good morning, Brian. Only Miss Phyllis said good morning. Ugh, finally. Brother gotta beg to get a greeting? I gotta go through all this histrionics just to get a greeting? What's up with that? What's up with that? Oh man, Lisa's popping in because she know I'm gonna do some stuff. She's wanting to see what I'm gonna do when she's gone. I'm gonna talk about how young people are today. I'm gonna talk about between the 20 and 35-year-olds, but I also want to talk about our school-age children. Our school-age children today. How do you feel about them? I personally am not a fan of the school system. And I do understand these kids today have different pressures than what we had when I was in school. They have cyberbullying now, and that's a very real thing. They got more pressures, and the pressures on these kids here today, most of the time the pressures that I had in school, when I left school, that pressure from school was gone. And I just had the pressure on the house. That was different. These kids today have pressure all the time from schools because the teachers touch them a lot, and they got stuff they got to do, and they got to do online school. I pray for those young children who was in first, second, and third grade during the pandemic years. That was so difficult to watch because I didn't have any children in that age range. I had grandchildren in that age range, though, but that was so difficult to watch. And these kids are dealing with so much transition. So they got different pressures on these kids. So we don't we never talk about that on this show, but I want to get your perspectives a little bit on this show. What do these kids need? How can we be better for them? Sister Shawnee, good morning to you. Lisa's not here. I'm in the big chair today. Whee! And I'm going to do stuff that Lisa don't want me to do because, she ain't here. She can't stop me. I can quote the great Riley Freeman. The great Riley Freeman says, I'm an actor fool. Oh, I'm going to take you guys interspersed with our conversations today. I'm going to take you guys on the journey, the empowerment duo journey. Now, Lisa and I, we're in support of entrepreneurs and authors. That's basically who we're in support of. And men, which is tonight, Male Empowerment Networks, and women, which is Women Empowerment Networks. My ministry is men. Grown men, and grown men need men. That's part of my ministry. My ministry is to help entrepreneurs to sell themselves and their services better. That's part of my ministry. My life is a ministry. My wife, when I first met my wife, 2015, I think maybe we had done one workshop together, but this one I was just in the audience. And it was at a church, and they had a big stage. They had a stage at this church facility, so you had to walk up on stage, and Lisa was facilitating the event. And I watched her run the room and all that kind of stuff. It was beautiful. And but her ministry, she explained then, and it's been her prevailing ministry since I've known her, and probably many, many years before I met her. But one of her prevailing ministries is that no woman is ever bound into a situation because they don't have money. They're not bound. They're not left in an untenable situation or uncomfortable situation simply because they can't afford to live. They can't pay their own bills. And Lisa's belief is if they have breath in their body, if they have a gift, skill, or a talent, they can earn. They can earn. I'm doing a workshop tomorrow night called The Selling Mindset That Works. And I posted in a women's group just this morning. There are so many women that unwittingly have a negative mindset when it comes to selling themselves and their services. They sabotage themselves because they find the act of selling distasteful. They have, like if I say, how many women here want to meet a guy that's a salesman type? You'll see them repulse and pull back and all that kind of stuff. So with that in their minds, their subconscious mind is not going to let them do things that they find distasteful. If they find selling distasteful, if they find the act of selling distasteful, they won't do it. They'll self-sabotage themselves over and over again. And they're doing it unwittingly. And I'm doing a workshop tomorrow night so that I can help cure that forever. Good morning, Sister Shawnee. Good morning, Brother Evan. Good morning, Sister Judy. All of you guys, good morning. I'm going to take you guys on a journey. We're talking today. Now, the focus today, the main focus is just for today, because we never do this. Let's talk about our young people. What do these young people need? Why do they suck so bad at 24 years old? I got theories on it, but I want your theories. I'm theories, because they grew up thinking that life owed them something or that they know something because they never lived through not knowing anything. If there's anything they don't have the answer to, Google it and they got an answer. I didn't have that. Like I had to find a World Book or a Britannica. And a lot of times it wasn't in the house. Not these kids. They grew up with cell phones. They grew up with technology. We did it. So they do have different pressures. They have different pressures. So interspersed with that conversation, great day, familia. I'm going to take you through a journey. This journey actually birthed in May of 2016. Sister Lisa Santiago McNeill, 2 or 3 years before that, started to write down some of the things that she went through in her life that shaped her, the things that she had to overcome that made her the person that she is today. Is that Tribly? What's up, girl? How you doing? Just for today, we're going to talk about young people. I'm going to take you on a journey. So she talked about the tribulation she had to overcome and what she became because of it, and it made her stronger, and she was able to she got this thing in her head, I want to write a book. And so she reached out to people saying, what do I have to do to write a book? And they were quoting her astronomical dollar figures. You got to pay $10,000 for this, $4,500 for that. And she was like, golly, I want to write a book, but I don't have money like that. So she started to do what she do because she's resourceful. So she started to research, what does it take to publish a book? And she did a lot of research, and she started asking people what you got to do. And she started taking a class. And what happened was she discovered how to do it, the key. And in May of 2016, she published her own book that she had for a couple of years. And it was called Discovering Your Why. Discovering Your Why by Lisa Santiago. Note there's no McNeill on this. Because I married her in April of 2023, but the book came out in 16, but the book came out in May. The book came out a month after I married her. So I could have stomped and all that stuff. Said, nah, your name ain't Lisa Santiago. Your name is Lisa Santiago McNeill. You want to fix this or what? But I didn't. No, because she had a life up and before we met. She had earned the name. So I didn't get in the way. So she published that book. It is rough at some point. There's some profanity in it. When I first got it, I read it in one sitting. I went in the backyard, sat on the porch swing, and read the whole book. One sitting on an afternoon. It was a warm afternoon. I finished the whole thing. And because it's an awesome book, hard to put down. I've had other people tell me that book, particularly a first lady of a church. A first lady of a church got Lisa's book, Discovering Your Why, and she didn't know Lisa, but she knew me, and she sent me a message, and I always love this message. Brian, I got your wife's book, and I cannot put it down. I can't put it down. She stayed with it till the end as well. But that book is available. You can get it from theempowermentduo.com, theempowermentduo.com. So what's your thoughts on young people? We know people here that want to be in support of them, like a friend of ours that Evan and I share is a guy named Sir Markadu. And part of his life's ministry is to help young people figure out a way to earn $1. Help young people earn $1. He does it through some of the products and services that he offers that they can invest in very cheaply and earn $1 that day. Okay, which is, I think, is a great ministry. But what do these young people need? Why do they suck so bad? And I'm saying that halfway joking. Halfway. Because if you ever had to go into a retail establishment or you had to get some service from some 24-year-old entitled know-it-all, you just, oh, God. I know I do. Maybe someone else feels the same way I do about having to deal with 24-year-olds. I was going to give a TEDx speech, okay? And this was 2 years ago, I think. Maybe not even 2 years ago. And I gave my speech, and it was called how we could support men or something like that. And I had a formula in my speech, it was called forgive. It was an F something. It was forgive the man, edify the man, and something else. Okay, I can't remember what it was. But it was, first off, forgive the man is how you help him. You forgive him because he didn't always have the answers. And you do need to learn to edify the man too. And I gave a good speech about it. And it was like maybe 7 or 8 judges, just the judges, no audience in the room, just the judges. And the speech was good. And I know it was good. Lisa knows it was good. They had Lisa outside the room, actually, when I gave this talk in front of them. So, and after the talk, they kind of evaluated my talk. They liked this, they didn't like that. They like this, they like that. And the women in the room was like, how come women always have to rescue the men and da-da-da-da-da? And how come the women, and why, you're almost making it women's fault. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't see it that way. My wife heard the speech, she didn't think it was that way too. But then she asked me the question, Brian, were those millennials in the room? And they all were. They all were less than 30. And she goes, that's what it was, man. They're kids. They couldn't get it. Like, oh, that's what it was. They think the way they think, So they missed the nuance. They missed the depth. They missed the layers. And they just saw that surface part of it. And that's what they got. Sister, where are they? Sister Shawnee says, because I asked the question, what do these young people need? She goes, they need accountability. Participation trophies mess the game up. You are so right. Participation trophies ruined a generation of people. Participation trophies, everybody gets a trophy for just showing up when life has never, ever been that way. In life, there is such a thing as winning and losing, and they both have value to me. Losing has value too. Being rejected in sales. I did a whole video called The Value of Rejection in Selling. Did a whole video on it. Is that Dr. Deborah? Good morning, Dr. Deborah. Just for the day, we're going to talk about young people, but I'm also going to take you on a journey. Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from Charlotte, North Carolina, aboard this tiny ship. The first was in May of 2016 when Lisa published Discovering Your Why. At the same time she discovered how to publish that book, she was working on her beloved's book. So in June of 2016, I'm taking you guys on a journey. I want to talk about what these young people need. School-age people and young people, I'm going to say between the ages of 20 and 35. What do you feel about them? I think... Lordy Jesus, other than the fact that they don't know anything, they suck. But then again, I used to be them, but never like that. I don't think anyway. In the following month, Lisa published this book, The Shortcut. It's my first book, but published by Lisa Santiago McNeill. At the time, she didn't even know to put these first 2 books. She didn't even know to put published by on the cover. Or the back. She didn't put that. She published them. Those were her first journeys. How wobbly that was. The rest of the books got published by on them somewhere, but she didn't know have it on this book right here. But my book came out, and one day we took our books on a tour uptown Charlotte. We went uptown, and we were just asking people, can you take a picture with our book, strangers? And everybody was happy to do it. We went to Panera. We took pictures with people in our books, and we just had a good old fun day with these 2 books. We took pictures of books with artwork out in the street, like scenery and statues. We took pictures with our 2 books, our first 2 books. We were so excited. We just took them books. We took our books on the tour day. Is what we did. Does that seem silly? We had a good time doing it. We just tried to find situations to take pictures that were like a bench here, a statue there, some artwork there, some water there, some guy walking by, a couple walking by that we think looked particularly cute. Hey, can we get a picture? We walked into one hotel that happened to be uptown Charlotte. I can't remember the name. It might have been the Omni. Went up to the front desk. We had the front desk people hold our books, and we took pictures of that. So we just had a good day with it. And maybe you could do the same too. Maybe you'll find something. Take your book on a tour of your town. Good morning, Sister Monica Allison. Just for the day. We're going to talk about young people, the state of young people. What do they need? Why do they suck so bad? Why do they pain in the ass to someone that's 55 years old? And I got some of them in my family, and I love my children. But I got a 33-year-old daughter, and I got a 31-year-old son. I got that. And I got a 28-year-old daughter, and a 22-year-old daughter, and a 20-year-old son as well. I got all of that. And they're great when they're with me, I think. And it never is. Dr. Deborah said, I actually like that idea. Dr. Deborah, you got at least 2 books that I know of. The one that's particularly close to my heart. Because I was there when you got it in your hands, but more importantly, when your husband got it in his hands. I was there. And that moment is special to me. So what if you just had some fun? Take someone with you, you and a friend, and go get something to eat, or go to an ice cream shop, or just go into your town, whatever that is, and go to your museum and just take a tour with your book. And you just have fun with it. We did. So those are the first 2 in 2016. Okay. I'm going to journey, but I had so much stuff in my head. The book, The Shortcut, teaches entrepreneurs what to do with their time, but it doesn't teach how to overcome objections. If you want this book, just go to either empowermentduo.com or virtualsalesmgr.com. Can someone please put that in the chat? Virtualsalesmgr.com. Is that the great Rochelle V. Gray? I have been bragging on Ro as I promote my latest book, 932. I've been bragging. I said, and the forward has been written by an amazing 30-year educator. So I've been bragging on Ro. And she's right on the cover, too. So this was published in June, but in August, 2 months later, 2 months later, we published this book, Asking for the Money, because the other book doesn't cover overcoming objections and closing sales, but Asking for the Money does. Asking for the Money, how anyone can close more sales, even you. That book teaches you how to overcome objections, prevent stalls, and it infuses the reader with confidence when it comes to closing sales. And that's also written by me and published by Lisa. On this book, Lisa finally she put Empowerment Publishing on it. Now, her company is Empowerment Publishing and Multimedia. So she's growing. I'm watching the journey. She's starting to grow. She got my picture on the back of this one here. So we're going along. And then Lisa started to get this idea, and she wanted to publish a children's book. And I think that happened the same year she wrote this book, The Tiniest Little Acorn. And when she gives a speech, and she intersperses within her speech the story of the tiniest little acorn, about this acorn in the forest that gets stepped on by people and gets trampled into the cold and wet mud. And the acorn is noticing how people come by and they see the pine cones and they like the pine cones. The pine cones are pretty. People pick up the pine cones. Sometimes they take the pine cones with them, but no one pays attention to this little acorn. They just step on the acorn. The acorn's bemoaning its fate. No one likes me. No one picks me up. None of that kind of stuff. And the acorn's sad about it until a wise tree advises the acorn. Yes, you're right. People do like the pine cones. They take the pine cones with them. But those pine cones are trees that never will become trees. You, my friend, being stepped on and pressed into the dirt like that, into the dark and dirt, you will be able to become a tree. You're in the exact conditions that you need to become a mighty oak. So often people, and I promise you, Lisa does this story better than I'm giving it right now. So often people bemoan the situations they're in, and very, very often they're in the exact state that they need to be in to become that great thing that they're going to become. Can I get an amen from somebody? Amen. That's right. So this is Lisa's book, The Tiniest Little Acorn. And I think it's really, really suited for women's groups, teenage girls groups. I think it's really, really good for workshops. This book here, Tiniest Little Acorn. The story is simple, but the point is strong. So, Sister Shawnee says, right there is a winner and first to lose not second place. Yeah, right there's a winner. Right there's a winner and a first to lose, not second place. Oh, well, let's talk about that. Okay, there's a winner, and then there's the first one to lose. That's what Shawnee is saying. I think there's value in second place. I do. I even think there's value in third place. And you can even come in fourth or fifth place. Okay, there is some value in it. Thank you, Sister Monica. I appreciate that. Thank you, Monica Allison. See, we working as a team. We right here. We right there with each other. Monica, I know one day we're going to meet you in person. And when we meet you in person, Monica, Lisa and we're going to hug your neck, lady. We're going to hug you for real. Yes, we are. So Lisa published that book. And then the following January, the next one was this one. Because I didn't have a children's book at the time, but I've been telling a children's story for more than 20 years. And the story I've been telling for more than 20 years, I had only told to adults. Lisa had heard me tell this story 15 times at different workshops about why rhinos make great salespeople. Why rhinos make great salespeople. This is the newest one, why rhinos make great entrepreneurs. But I wrote a book called Why Rhinos Make Great Salespeople. I've been telling that story for years to business meetings about rhinos have thick skins and great salespeople don't take things personally, that kind of thing. So Lisa, she recorded me telling that story. She asked me to tell it to her in the bedroom. I bet you heard it a lot of times. Just tell me again. And she recorded it. And she goes, congratulations, Brian, you just wrote your first children's book. Really? And she put it together and I got a children's book out of the deal. So, and we're moving along. And then Lisa hits another idea for a children's book coming from another speech she gave. Shouts out to Myra Foster. Lisa had been coaching her and something came out and she came up with this concept for Myra. I should have probably said her name. I didn't. I probably should have said the name, but the concept was, raised by chickens. Raised by chickens. Chickens can only do what chickens do. The story goes, and Lisa has a children's book. I don't have one handy. She has a children's book called Raised by Chickens, but this actually came from coaching her clients. And the story is unfamiliar, but Lisa puts her spin on it. Not unfamiliar, but she puts her spin on it. The story happens where for an eagle's egg ends up falling out of the sky, down the hill, and into a chicken coop. And a chicken there finds it. A hen finds that eagle's egg and puts it in her nest and hatches it along with her other chicks. And she treated that eagle egg that she hatched as if that eagle was a chicken as well. And the eagle was a little bigger than the other chicks. It was bigger than the other chicks. His beak was curved, so he couldn't really peck as well as the other chicks. And his feet, and he had big talons that weren't really, really good for scratching around for stuff in the yard. They would rip stuff apart. So the mother hen, in a loving way, tried to teach her eagle how to be a good chicken. And he just couldn't get it. He was always frustrated, because he didn't know how to be a chicken. His body, he was way bigger than everybody else. He was bigger, had a curved beak and all that kind of stuff. And he saw one day an eagle fly by. And she said to her mom, I want to fly like that. She goes, we're chickens. We can fly, but we don't like to fly. We don't want to do that. Okay. And I promise you, I'm not doing the story as good as Lisa tells it in her speech. Because when Lisa gives a speech, she's in a state. She gets in an anointed place to let God use her as she delivers it. So, but the eagle saw that and it burst through his chest. So finally one day, that eagle couldn't be in that coop anymore, and it flew away. It became what it was always supposed to be. But the frustration part is when you're raised by chickens, all the chicken can teach you how to do is to be a chicken. Okay, only other eagles can teach you what it takes to be an eagle. That eagle had to find other eagles to learn how to be another eagle. Okay, you can draw your own inference from that, but I think it's one of the greatest speeches that she gives, Raised by Chickens. Okay, And she does it in an animal format to not offend anybody. So that book came out. So then as I continued the journey, what came out next after Raised by Chickens? We had a big old production about this book. Now, Lisa started doing journals. We're talking about children too. What these children need. And I'm getting to that because I think if a young person were to read, for example, Discovering Your Why, it would make sense of the rough times in their life, especially a young lady in her teens or 20s, okay, or Raised by Chickens, and help make sense of their lives. Monica says, Lisa Santiago McNeill published all 3 of my books, which can be found at monisplace.com. They are not just for children's books. Well, that's what we like to say. Our books are not just for children. The children, it's like the sugar in the or the juice in the medicine. To put in a children's, you can say some stuff. You can get your point across in a children's book sometimes easier than you could in a regular tome. Okay. Dr. Deborah says, I'm enjoying the journey. Thank you so much, Dr. Deborah, for encouraging me. See how easy it is for Dr. Deborah to encourage? I don't got Lisa here. I don't got my support system here. I'm in the big chair all by myself because my baby's at her grandson's graduation. And it means something that Lisa gets to go to the graduation. She's excited about doing it. She wanted to show up for her grandson's graduation. So the show must go on. And so now we're able to do that. I could cover for her for a day. She gets to enjoy her grandson. She's already sent me a few pictures. She can't stand not touching. Her butt has already popped up on the feed. She should just be chilling right now. We love that we have that Lisa's published all 3 of your books. I say we, but it's really Lisa's company. I say we have a publishing company, but it's really Lisa's, okay? So, but this next book, I really like, okay? We had a big old book launch with this book. It's called Permission to Be Amazing Granted. I like the cover with Lisa on it. And that picture, I think we were actually in New York in that picture, but she put it on the cover of this book here, Permission to Be Amazing Granted, the Heart-Centered Coach's Guide to Creating the Business and Impact of Their Dreams. The Heart-Centered Coach's Guide, because she would know about that. Permission to Be Amazing Granted. It's one of my favorite books that Lisa did, okay? And I said it's one of my favorite books. I think I like it even more than she does. Permission to, and I like the fact that she's on the cover of it. I don't have a book of mine yet where I'm on the cover, but I'm going to get one. Probably later this year or early next year, I'm going to publish one of my books. I'm working on it now, so it's going to probably be winter time before it comes out. It's called Why Men Need Men. Why Men Need Men. And I think I'm qualified to do that because I've been hosting the men's meeting since 2013, 10 years. And I have heard so much from men. I've learned twice a month for 10 years. I've talked to men in a sacred circle, a safe place. William Brown has been there many times at the men's circle. So I'm going to write a book about what I consider why men need men. And I'm going to be on the cover of that book. That's going to be the first book I have, but I'm on the cover of it because I happen to be a man. Okay. And so like Lisa has herself on the cover of this book, I'm going to put myself on the cover of that book because I'm writing it now. All right. So we continue the journey. Happy today, William. We talk about kids today. Our young people today, why they suck so bad. What do these kids need? How can we help them now? How do we help them to be better? And I feel so, and somebody help me to not feel so frustrated about school-age kids because I don't like the public school system. I don't like the way they grade. I don't like the classroom system. I don't like what they teach. I've heard a great, really, really funny stand-up routine about this comedian talking about his school's experience sucked because he knows 4 different types of rocks that they taught him in school. They could have been using that time for other things. We've done a show here before what they didn't teach in school, but we believe they should have taught in school. And you guys all participated in it. And we had like 20 things they didn't teach in school, but we wish they had. They didn't teach us nothing about how to manage money in school. They should have. Okay, they didn't teach us nothing about the legal system in school. They should have. They teach us nothing about how to maintain a relationship, how to choose a mate, how to buy a home, how to save some money. They ain't taught us how to take care of our bodies, how to eat right. They didn't teach none of these things in school when they had the time. They had us captive for 12 years, and they didn't teach none of these things. So a lot of times they taught us stuff. Why do I even know the rhythm to Frere Jacques, dormez-vous? Why do I even know the rhythm to London Bridge is falling down? Why do I even know the rhythm to that? Right, they taught absolutely no life skills, but they should have. School should be about that. So I'm not really a fan of the school systems. I spent one Saturday morning, Monica. I was so frustrated with school systems. One Saturday morning, this is how nerdy I am. I got up early, went to my desk, and I just wrote about what I think a school should do, what I think my ideal school system, what it would cover, all that kind of stuff. I messed up something. Comments, okay. There we go. What it should cover, all that kind of stuff. I just wrote about my ideal school that I would want my kids to go to and what it would teach. And it was just for me to write. I didn't do nothing with it. I didn't publish it. I didn't put it nowhere. I didn't make it an article or nothing. It was just for me. But I was just frustrated. I wanted to get it out of me. And I do that from time to time. I write. Okay. So we went along. I'm continuing the journey about our books. And what was next? I'm trying to figure. Lisa wrote some journals. Manifestation 2017, Manifestation 2018, 19, 20, 22. She wrote these journals that had the 5 steps to manifestation in it. And I don't have it off the top of my head, but she started writing these journals, like calendar journals type of things. I'm not sure which books came next, but I will tell you what's happened to me in the last 30 days. I updated my Why Rhinos Make Great Salespeople, and I changed the verbiage to Why Rhinos Make Great Entrepreneurs. That's available now at Virtual Salesman. Why Rhinos Make Great Entrepreneurs, which brings us to the present one that just came out on the 31st of May. Today is June the 6th. This came out on May 31st, 932. The 9 most important words, the 3 most important skills, and the 2 most important questions of life. This is from a perspective of a dad teaching his daughter the keys to being happy and successful for life. This is the 3rd book that I wrote that features Mr. Randall the Rhino, this character. I have him in 2 other books. So that's kind of like my guy, Mr. Randall the Rhino. He's in Why Entrepreneurs Make Great Salespeople, Entrepreneurs, and now 932. So that's the journey that we've taken. Dr. Beverly, good morning to you. And Craig Sabb came in the room. He said, good morning, everyone. Have a blessed day on purpose and enjoy it to the fullest. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, Lisa's not here. Craig just popped into the room. I'm going to pull from her cards at random. I'm not going to file through nothing. I'm just going to pull a card, and whatever card shows up, that's what we're going to talk about. Oh, gosh. This is the picture. That's the picture. The word is innocence. Okay, that's the card for the day, innocence. And it says, one second here. I picked it at random. I don't know what it says. Taking pleasure in life's small moments offers us a connection to our own innocent self. Delight in delicious play. Know that your stuffiness can blow away on the next breeze. Relax and let life lead. Oh, wow. Taking pleasure in life's small moments offers us a connection to our own innocent self. Taking pleasure in life's small moments. Delight in delicious play is what the card is advocating. Delight in delicious play. Know that your stuffiness can blow away in the next breeze. Relax and let life lead. That's our card of the day, Brother Craig. I hope you liked it. Talking about at least the journey of the empowerment duo through our books. Now I'm going to go back to the 932 one. because the 9 most important words includes words like courage and love and faith and discipline and no and money. The words like that. And then he gives a chapter about each of the words. But the skills, the 3 most important skills of life that I list in this book that a father's teaching his daughter are things like the ability to communicate in all its facets, the ability to lead in all its facets, and the ability to sell in all of its facets. Has a lot to do with your happiness or sadness. And the 2 most important questions is, what is it that you are here to do? With what God has put into you with your current collection of your gifts, skills, and talents, what are you here to do? If you don't know, you can lead a life of what they call, Thoreau called it, a life of quiet desperation. He says most men lead lives of quiet desperation. They're quietly desperate. They're not making any noise. They're not doing anything. They're not living out loud. They're living quietly desperate because they haven't figured out what they're really here to do. Okay? And then the last question is, and who are you here to serve? And the classic animation movie is a movie called Ants. Okay, this movie called Ants. It's Pixar or Disney. I'm not sure which one it was. But one of the opening scenes is this ant is in a psychiatrist's office. And he's telling his psychiatrist, his ant psychiatrist, I don't know, man. I just don't feel happy. I feel so insignificant, is what the ant is telling the psychiatrist. And the psychiatrist says, congratulations, you've made a breakthrough. He says, what? I made a breakthrough? Yes. I just said I'm insignificant. That's right. You figured out life. You are insignificant. And he goes, I am? Oh, really? No, that ant wasn't happy because he didn't feel like he should be insignificant. You should not feel that you're insignificant either, because you're not insignificant. That's not a breakthrough when you settle in and accept your insignificance. That's a giving up. Brother Craig says, got a car, going back to sleep. My day-to-day, relax and work, taking it slow. Amen. He got his card. That's all he needs. He came and got his card. We're about to do the greeting songs and greeting logos. Y'all going to have to pray for your boy. Because there's some of these songs Lisa does. And why does Lisa do the song? Because I can't do it. Dr. Beverly, help your boy out, Dr. Beverly. Don't let any of your friends in the room for this one, Dr. Beverly. But what I'm about to do is the way we thank people that contribute to the show. And I appreciate you guys letting me take y'all through our journey of our books. I feel like I'm missing something. Okay, but I put them on the desk. Lisa would never have wanted me to. Oh, yeah, there was one more here. I did write a companion workbook to the shortcut. Like if someone wanted to facilitate the workshop, or if they wanted to just buy the book and test themselves and fill out the workbook afterwards, because I did write that too. So, but I still feel like I'm missing something, but I probably am. But anyway, Dr. Beverly says, I got you. Thank you. And I appreciate you letting us go through this journey. This show is called Let's Talk About It. Personal conversations, business information, and spiritual inspiration with a little bit of shenanigans. My co-host, my partner, my teammate, my wife is Lisa Santiago McNeill. She co-hosts the show with me. She's at her grandson's graduation today, which means something to her. But together make up what's called the Empowerment Duo. And the Empowerment Duo has an express ministry. It's economic independence through entrepreneurship. Now, though some of you guys have been rocking with the show from the beginning of this show was October of 2016. That's right. We've been going on for 7 years now. Some of you guys are consistent contributors, and what we like to thank you is with greeting songs and with greeting logos. Okay. You know, when you're in somebody else's office and somebody else's desk, you know, because my desk in my office is more comfortable for me. I'm visiting. In my office, I'm the home team. Here, I'm the visitor. Miss Phyllis has a logo, and she's been with us from the very beginning. Miss Phyllis is here. So clear the way. Miss Phyllis is here. Now we can all have a great day. Good morning, Miss Phyllis. And it's Tamika. She's walking in her destiny, the only one for me. Her name's Tamika. Good morning, Sister Tamika. How you doing? Lisa Santiago McNeill. Hey, how you doing? Baby, what you getting into? Can't do spice with your Shawnee Smith. Baby, you can do it. Take your time. Do it right. You can do it, baby. Can do Spice. Can do Spice. Let me tell you something about Can Do Spice. They stepped up their game about this past weekend. I think it was Saturday morning. We got our shipment from Can Do Spice with all our tins in it, and it comes in a nice decorative black box of our spices, our healthy, delicious combination of spices put on by Can Do Spice. So we got our box in the mail, and it came in on Saturday. I think it was Saturday morning. We was happy to get it too, and we've been using it ever since then. Evan Jefferson has a logo. Talk to your man. It's your boy in the building. ERGJ is in the building. Evan Jefferson, welcome, sir. Sister Judy. Oh, Judy, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Judy. Hey, Judy. Trivoli. Life has new meaning to me. Good morning, Trivoli. How you doing? And I love when Trivoli pops through because for some reason, well, pretty much everybody, but for her particularly, when I see her come in the room, Trivoli Ellis, I think about what her business is, and I love her business idea. Her business idea is fast weddings or short term. You don't have to do a whole lot of preparation. You can have a beautiful wedding without a whole lot of stuff. I'm not giving the right term. There's a term that she uses for it, but it's a wedding. She facilitates weddings, and she can do it like right away, and it's going to be great. There's a way for it. Short-term, not short-term, but short planning time wedding, something like that. Dr. Deborah Dunstan, one of my partners in crime. Dr. Deborah's a partner. Why is she a partner? Because she was around. We spent time together with Dr. Deborah. We took several trips with Dr. Deborah. We've done workshops with Dr. Deborah. We supported her workshops and her sermons. We've been there to watch her preach and teach, and she supported our stuff too. So she's our partner. Dr. Deborah has a jam, and Lisa does it way better than me. Dr. Deborah, healing and manifestation coach. I got one of those days ahead of me too. I'm taking a class at 11 today, and then I have a client at 1 today, and I have a client at 4 today. And also tonight, we're hosting male empowerment networks and women empowerment networks. So this is a full day for me. Monica Allison has a jam. Moni in the middle. Where she at? In the middle. Moni in the middle. Where that at? In the middle. Rochelle Gray. Man, I keep forgetting it. I know Rochelle has a jam. Rochelle, if you can remember, just give me the prompt. I know you have one already. We did Can Do Spice. We did Dr. Deborah. Let's see. William Brown has a jam too. William Brown jam goes, good morning to our friend Bill. Nobody thinks like him still. We love him so, and we always will. Our friend Bill. Good morning to our friend Bill. Dr. Beverly has a logo, and it goes, Dr. Beverly is on the show. Good morning. Craig Sapp has a logo too. And a jam, it goes, Craig Sapp, 1,000 degrees. You'll be on your knees and you'll be burning, begging, please. Brother Freeze, Craig, let me borrow your VCR so I can dub a tape. Who said that? It was Felicia that said that in the movie. Okay. Dr. Beverly, Craig Sapp says, it does sound funny without Lisa. You see, you need that Bronx flavor, that River Park Towers flavor. I don't need no Bronx flavor. I don't need no River Park Towers flavor. I just need Lisa flavor. Dr. Beverly says, Craig, I'm helping him. Don't you hear me? Don't you hear us? My office is singing with you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Beverly and your office. Craig says, me too, but it still needs Lisa's touch. That's right. It ain't better without Lisa. It's not better without her. It's better with her. That's the kind of person she is. Therefore, stuff is better when she's there. I would like to make stuff think that stuff is better when I put my hands to it. I want you to feel that way about yourself too, because you are the greatest. I am the greatest. I shook up the world. I shook up the world. Who said that? 21-year-old Muhammad Ali, when he defeated Sonny Liston, he was favored to lose 8-1. They thought Liston was going to kill him, and Ali beat her up. Liston didn't come out for the 7th round. He says, y'all must listen to me. He's doing like this when he did it. I am the greatest. I'm great. I must be the greatest. I just turned 22 years old, and I just knocked out Sonny Liston, so I must be the greatest. That's what he was saying in his 22-year-old mind. He had just, January was his birthday, February was the fight. So he had just turned 22, and he beat the man that was going down in history as one of the greatest fighters ever, the big, bad, ugly bear, Sonny Liston, this skinny little scared kid, beat him up. And he became the world champion, and he just turned 22 years old. Dr. Deborah thanks you. Goes, Brian, you did a great job. Dr. Beverly says, I am the greatest. Say it out loud. Say it with your chest. Say it with some meaning. Say it with some enthusiasm, as if you're enabled by the gods. Monica Allison says, awesome job, Brian. Have a productive day, family. Thank you. You too, my sister. Have an awesome day to you. I want you to have an awesome day too. One of the ways you can ensure you have an awesome day is just do what Craig says. Do it on purpose. Do it on purpose. Have an awesome day on purpose. Going through these books here, as I did it with you guys, every time I picked up one, I was thinking about what was going on in our lives at the time. And it was a pretty pleasurable journey for me too. I'm happy with what we've done as a couple. I'm happy with the lives that we have impacted. I'm happy with what we have learned together. I'm happy that we have built an amazing, supportive, loving community. The Empowerment Duo family. You guys are our brothers and our sisters. You guys showing up here means everything. It means everything. If anyone, none of you guys are required to be here. So if any one of you guys don't show up, you're conspicuous. Where is Dr. Beverly? Where is Monica Allison? Where's Craig? What happened to William Brown? Where are these people? You know, I don't want you to feel like you have to. I don't want you to feel like you owe us anything. But I promise you, we're looking for you. You are that important to us. Like we had a show one time where we could see no comments anywhere. If we can't see the comments, the show doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I know the title of today's topic was our young people, and we touched on it lightly. Dr. Beverly says, I want to. I like being here. And I like you being here too, Dr. Beverly. I like you being here. You're kind of like the historian of the show, Dr. Beverly. Don't you say nothing on this show that you don't want Dr. Beverly to remember, because she's going to remember it. Fair warning. She's going to remember that story you said. She's going to remember that thing you did. She's going to remember that. And she's going to remember it in such a way that she can bring it up again. So you got to be more careful. But I love when you're in this room, Dr. Beverly. Thank you very much. Judging by the shadow on the floor, it's time for us to close today's top show. All right. God bless you. Have a good day. Craig says, in my DMX voice, I'm probably going to play me some DMX right now. In my DMX voice, we right here. We right here, and we ain't going anywhere. We're right here. Now, DMX. I love DMX. Who we be. Did y'all know that I dated women before my wife? Okay. There was Brenda, Letitia, Inez, and Felicia, Dawn, LaShawn. That's DMX. I gotta go. God bless you guys.